Hey, good morning. Of course, I love English teaching. There's nothing I would rather do than teach English rather than drive. Oops, there's some traffic. Other than drive around in my Honda. But no, okay, I'm being facetious. Although I make a video, I make my living, and much of my life and my identity is as an English teacher, I do other things too. One of those things I like to do is a bit of art. And this is kind of ridiculous. It seems ridiculous to me because if you'd asked me even 10 years ago, would you be making art? I'd be like, what? I'd never do any of that sort of stuff. That's really pretentious. And anyway, I have no talent. I can't do that. And yet, I found myself, okay, let's go back in the mists of time to back in 2007 when I first came to Japan. This time round, came to Japan and we started teaching English. It wasn't that stimulating, to be honest. I mean, it was very stimulating. I had to earn a lot of money, pay for family. Back then, our two kids were how old? 7 or 8 and 2 years old. And we had a house. All that blah blah blah. Teaching English got me from A to B. It literally put food on the table. So it would be cheeky of me to say, oh, I don't really care. Yeah, you know, teaching English was very, very important. It kept us alive, and it still does. It keeps us alive in the sense of money, though. It doesn't keep me, what's the word? Mentally stimulated that much, especially as I've been doing it for 20 years. Hence, that's a posh word, means so. I make these videos, but I also do a bit of art, and I'm not going to bore you with all of that, except to say that I think anybody needs something else other than just the main job. And even when you're self-employed, as stimulating and as fun and as interesting as having your own business is, it's not enough. But it's not enough for me. I don't think it is enough for anybody, unless you are putting all of your efforts into it and you lack a bit of imagination. If you've got a bit of an imagination, and I think everybody has, and you want to feed your imagination, you need to do something else. It could be writing a blog. It could be videoing yourself as you drive in your Honda back home, giving advice to others. It could be art, like for me. It could be writing a novel. I remember I read a blog post ages ago, back when people used to write blogs, and this guy was like, oh my god, trying to make a living as a writer, it's impossible. And what happens is you end up in some godforsaken place in Asia as a teacher, and that's your life, and you're not the novelist you hoped you would be. Blah blah blah, whine whine whine. Hey, take a stoic point of view, meaning do the thing that you want to do and don't worry about whether it's successful or not. What do I mean by that? Teaching English has been relatively successful for me, and it has paid the bills, and that's fantastic. It is. But it also means that I have a bit more time than average, and I don't have a boss breathing over me, breathing down me, whatever bosses do. And so I've got energy to do something else. And so one of the things I do is making art. And you could argue it's not very good art. It doesn't make much money. But I do have a little exhibition this month at Sunbeam Terrace in Mabashi on the local Joban line on the Chuo, wherever it is, I've forgotten. But anyway, Mabashi near Matsudo. Sunbeam Terrace. Anyway, it's the third year I'm doing a exhibition all this month, July. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's not particularly successful. I'm not a proper artiste, maybe, but I'm not bothered. I'm still doing it. That's the stoic point of view. I can't control whether people like my art or they don't like my art. The only thing I can control is making art. You know, so that's what I do. I make my art. I do my thing, and hopefully people like it. If they don't, I still made some art. So this guy that was complaining, oh, I'm not a I can't make my money as a writer. Well, make your money as a teacher and write on the side. And there's a lot of side. If you're teaching for yourself, you know, yeah, you may not make a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money, but enough to have time to do other things. And this is the point. If you do your own thing, you have time to do other things. And you don't have to define yourself as a self-employed English teacher, or even as a 2-bit artist or a writer. You can be all of these things. Yeah, you've got to make some money, but you know, how you define yourself is really up to you. So you can call yourself an artist, you can call yourself a teacher, you can call yourself a business person. It's all good. So remove your identity from the way you make your money, and then you have no problems. And be stoical about it. You don't have any power over the results of what you do, but you can have power over what you do. So do that and be happy. And hey, if you're around in Mabashi, come out this month and have a look at my paintings and have a coffee. Say hello to Les. Okay, I'll leave a link and all that sort of stuff if you're interested. But anyway, have a good one. See ya.